Our tale begins with an everyday office worker heading off to meet a client. Despite a rocky start with failed negotiations, he keeps his spirits high, looking ahead to the prospect of more successful meetings. His perseverance pays off, and he successfully secures a deal, sparking joy within him and making him eagerly anticipate a possible promotion. In a striking contrast, elsewhere a man frantically bolts from a building, a firearm in his possession, fiercely pursued by an injured policeman. Their chase concludes in a physical altercation, a discharged bullet, and the office worker is caught in the crossfire. Stunned, he collapses, his thoughts swaying between his imminent promotion celebration and his unjust end. As he nears death, he expresses sadness about the difficulties of life, and his grievances reach God's divine ear. Touched by his troubles, God bestows upon him a second chance, reincarnating him into a world filled with magic and mythical creatures. Immediately, he finds himself amidst the magnificent sight of a colossal dragon soaring above him, signaling his arrival in this fantastic realm. Discovering the drastic change of his appearance, he also learns about his new abilities granted by the divine and how to navigate in this world. Experimenting with his abilities, he summons a status window like a video game interface. He realizes the extent of his transformation. He now has the body of a 15-year-old and the freedom to control his own destiny. Hoping to forge a path more rewarding than his previous existence, he names himself Lucille. Opting for skills in martial arts, magic control, and monster taming, he settles on the role of a healer, a less hazardous occupation, considering his reluctance to engage with the dangerous creatures in this world. Armed with a meager sum of 3 silver coins, Lucille acknowledges the necessity of employment. After all, in this world, 15-year-olds are deemed adults. Suddenly, he stumbles upon a monstrous corpse and hastily retreats, haunted by the prospect of an abrupt end to his second life. His objective is simple: to live a long life without such scares. Upon reaching a city, he observes the residents brandishing their ID cards and even parting with a toll at the entrance. When his turn comes, his lack of identification puzzles the guard. However, quickly adapting, Lucille spins a story of his upbringing in a small village where he learned the healing arts, but was forced out due to the village's disinterest in his skills. His fabricated tale is met with suspicion, but he is permitted to wait while the guard fetches Lumina, a woman of the city. Reiterating his backstory, Lumina guides him to the Healers Guild, relieving his worries about the entrance fee by informing him of the special privileges given to healers. On their way to the guild, a collision with a group of adventurers prompts Lucille to reveal his novice status and his wishes to become a trustworthy healer. The encounter concludes without incident, and he follows Lumina to the Healers Guild. Along the way, he learns of the favored treatment healers receive, exempting them from most duties, as they hold lives in their hands. Upon reaching the guild, he meets the clerk, Kururu, who hands him a form to fill out. Struggling initially due to his unfamiliarity with the language, his divine-granted language skill aids him in understanding and completing it. An unexpected obstacle arises when he's asked to provide his hometown's name, to which he cleverly responds by stating he simply referred to it as the village. After he completes the form, he seizes the chance to learn the city's name from Lumina, who reluctantly informs him it's Maritani, part of the Shuru Republic. With the completed form, Kururu returns bearing his guild card and instructs him to infuse his magic into it. Successfully doing so, Lucille registers a G-ranked healer. The narrative progresses as Kururu reclaims the card, taking it back behind the scenes. Luna proceeds to explain that she's cataloging his card into the network of the Healers Guild, a process that will permit him to utilize his card at any guild worldwide. With this, Kururu extends back his card to him, reinforcing his new role as a healer. Lumina reckons her task is complete, but the story takes an unexpected turn. Lucille stumbles upon a stumbling block, admitting that he is devoid of any magic knowledge. He reveals that his village was barren of any spell books, and being the pioneer healer, he had no way of harnessing his magical abilities. Luna finds his statement bewildering, but patiently lays out 3 pathways for him to learn magic. The initial approach she outlines is a Spartan-like training. Lucille would plunge into magic studies from a book, practicing it to the point of exhausting his magic. Once his magic recharges, he'd repeat the cycle until the spell gets ingrained in him. The alternative choice is a more traditional 3-year school experience to study magic, though he'd have to repay the guild for the financial support. Lastly, Luna suggests an apprenticeship with the guild, enabling him to undertake various tasks and magic studies during his leisure time. As Lucille weighs the alternatives, he finds the apprenticeship most appealing but hesitates due to uncertainties regarding his free time. He contemplates the lengthy schooling option but is quickly reminded of the crippling student loans from his past life. Spartan training seems grueling, but he's optimistic about witnessing progress akin to his former life. His optimism is reinforced by the assessed mastery skill that enables him to track his skill development. Surprisingly, he ends up picking the Spartan training route, an option that leaves both Lumina and Kururu in shock, questioning his decision-making. Lucille expresses his gratitude to Lumina, vowing to reimburse her assistance someday. Wishing him luck, Lumina guides him to his room where a spell book awaits. He immerses himself in the book, learning that every spell recital will consume his magic, but each successful attempt will boost his skill. Determined, he decides to try this out, envisioning the reversal of a wound as he articulates the healing spell. The first attempt doesn't bear any fruit, causing him to question his suitability as a healer. However, he acknowledges a slight enhancement towards his holy magic affinity. Discovering that his magic energy allows 9 more spell attempts, Lucille perseveres with his practice, even though it leaves him completely drained. It's like nursing a hangover, a sensation he's all too familiar with. As his magic eventually regains, he realizes the necessity to refine his magic control to conserve magic for each spell. The following day, Lucille wakes up feeling late but soon remembers his transformed life. Choosing to detach from his past, he centers his attention on his present world, continuing his magic training and pausing just before complete magic exhaustion. As he awaits magic replenishment, he focuses on enhancing his control over it. Repeating these steps, Lucille starts sensing some level of mastery over it, and progress is evident. Thus, his spirit remains high. During his practice, a girl named Monica visits him with some food. By his 3rd day of training, Lucille successfully casts his first healing spell. Pondering his next step, he considers seeking guidance from Lumina. Monica discloses that Lumina arranged for him to stay at the guild for 10 days. Intrigued by Lumina, Lucille wishes to know more about her, to which Monica reveals Lumina's role as the captain of the church's female paladin division. Lucille feels fortunate to have met Lumina but worries about his next move post the 10 days at the guild. Deciding to promote himself as a healer, Monica informs him about the potential to earn money with his newly learned healing spell, estimating a fair price to be 1 silver coin. Lucille is taken aback by the high value of a single spell, but Monica adds that he'd need to contribute to the guild as per his rank. With his previous business expertise, Lucille plans to secure work, but unexpectedly encounters adventurers from the past. Recognizing them and fearing their reaction, he hurriedly offers his apologies. Bazan, the group's leader, presents an opportunity for Lucille to understand more about adventures. Suddenly, a group of injured rookie adventurers surfaces. They had taken on a risky request and were reaping its harsh consequences. They seem to lack trust in the guild's clinic due to past experiences. Lucille recalls Monica mentioning the existence of corrupt healers charging excessive prices, causing the guild to throw disciplinary actions against them. However, their methods grew increasingly elusive, challenging the law to keep up with them. Reflecting on this, Lucille pledges to be an ethical healer and steps forward, offering his healing services to the injured rookies. However, this is where our tale temporarily concludes. Feel free to comment if you're interested in following more of this exciting series. Thanks for your time. If you stayed until the end, please like and subscribe for more anime recaps.